Hey, what is up everyone? Coach Danny and Alex. Today I want to talk about how to hit the heavy bag. A lot of people just use the heavy bag as a tool to get conditioned, but I'm going to show you guys how you should be working the heavy bag. So you want to work the heavy bag and don't let the heavy bag work you. All right, so a couple of concepts first, just before you start working a heavy bag. A lot of people get to a gym or they just started out, maybe they have a heavy bag in their basement, in the garage, and they just pound a heavy bag and they don't necessarily see what they're doing or actually feel or visualize what they're doing. So when you're a professional fighter, amateur fighter, or at least someone who takes the sport seriously, you want to be able to visualize what you're training on the heavy bag. We don't use this only for cardio and conditioning, although that's a great way to do it. We also want to work something more specific. So when I talk about specifics is really visualize this as a tool to improve your skills. So here's an example using some boxing, right? So if the heavy bag is in front of me and it's swinging forward like this, I don't want to always punch it when it's coming at me. I want to be able to move slightly with it. So if it's coming here, I want to gain that distance. See how I kind of move with the heavy bag. And as I strike, maybe I strike, but I'm also using my feet to keep that distance, right? That's one concept. That's one strategy to work your bag. Another thing is, if I see that my heavy bag is moving sideways, as an example, let's say my heavy bag is moving like this. I don't want to be hitting it like that, see? And then crossing it here and missing the punch, because this represents an opponent. And if the opponent is swaying side to side, either with his body, his head, or his footwork, I don't want to be hitting straight punches when he's not there and he's moving side to side. I want to accurately hit the bag. So the hooks are going to be the proposed technique when it's going laterally like this. So if it's coming here, I also don't want to hook it as it's moving away and as it's moving away. I want to try to aim my punches as it meets the heavy bag. So if it starts to move laterally as such, what I want to do is time it where as it comes here or there, this is where my body shots or my wide hooks are going to come in and hit the bag. And like I said earlier, if it's moving in this fashion, I'm not going to be using hooks here. I'm going to be missing the hooks. So now I'm going to be forcing some straight punches, maybe working some uppercuts, and using my body with the footwork to get that range properly as if this was an opponent. Now, when we do this, a lot of times I have a few heavy bags here at our gym where they have different length chains. So in this case, this short boxing heavy bag has a higher chain or a longer chain, I should say. And the reason for this is, some people don't get why, is I'll explain to you. When we have a heavier with a short chain, the heavy bag is not going to move as much. When we have a lighter bag with a longer chain, this heavy bag is going to tend to sway side to side and circling a lot more. So in this case, I want this heavy bag to have that nice radius. So what I usually do is clear the heavy bags that are on the floor, but I want my athlete or myself, if I'm training it, to understand that this is a radius that I want to be moving myself around that heavy bag. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in Alex, and we're just going to give a slight example. Just throw some straight punches along with some uppercuts. Now the bag is static. As he's hitting his heavy bag, the bag is going to tend to sway slightly. So let me force that sway here. And now notice how he will time the heavy bag as it moves forward or backwards, using the straight punches as well as some uppercuts. Anything that goes in the line of fire in front of him. Now, if the heavy bag was to move sideways, he would start to work his hooks or his hooks here. Now, if I want him to throw combinations, he's going to go, let's say for example, start with the right hook as it comes back, go. Bam, 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 bam. One more time. And if he starts with his left, he wants to meet it as it comes back in. See? So you don't want to be throwing a hook as the heavy bag is moving away from you, because this would represent you throwing a punch at me, but I'm moving away, right? The impact is going to start to deflate, if you will, as the punch hits you. So I always want to meet the target. So if I see that you're swaying on this side, this is where I'm going to catch you with my left hook. So when you train this on the heavy bag, you start to visualize this stuff. Don't look at this as a punching bag. Look at this as an opponent. See an opponent in front of you, visualize where the head is, where the chin, the temples, the nose, and see where the shoulders, the chest, solar plexus, as well as the rib cage is located on your bag in your mind. And when you hit, you visualize that stuff. So this is just a quick video to show you guys how to train the heavy bag. I've done some more videos on more tips in the past. Check out my channel if you haven't so already. But for now, just wanted to take a quick tip and show you guys how you can perfect your training sessions on the heavy bag. Go. Sides.